Hello. Hi. How are you? Welcome. Or welcome back, whichever. I wanted to squeeze in a little bit of pumpkin before we end November because I know I'm close to finishing and missing out on pumpkin spice season. But we're going to get this video in and you're going to enjoy it. Yes, because I already dedicated myself to it. So now I got to do it. Welcome to another video. Today, if you can't tell from what is upon this nice little display right here, we're going to get into it because you've definitely seen it on the title. It's going to be a painkiller, which is a nice tiki cocktail. So think like tropical, fruity with rum. But this one, we're going to add a little bit of a pumpkin spice twist to it. Okay. So we still have, even though it's not exactly pumpkin spice season until the end of November, we're still going to squeeze it in. And there may be still a little pumpkin in these cocktails in December. Okay. We don't let every trend dictate what we're going to do. Even though I'm low key doing it right now, but just hear me out, okay? It's gonna be delicious. I just made the syrup. I put it in the freezer just to like cool down a little bit. It was a nice simmer, and let's begin. We're gonna talk about the origins of the painkiller real quick. It is going to have a nice origin in the British Isles. Okay, the British Isles. Who'd have thought, right? In the Caribbean. It's in a nice chain of the Caribbean. It's in between, say, Puerto Rico and Antigua. It's next to also the U.S. islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands, excuse me. So the British an island, and then the U.S. Virgin Islands. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird. Yeah, exactly. Colonization, but it's between the chain of islands in the Caribbean, and it's going to be at this soggy dollar bar, the soggy dollar bar, which makes sense because it's a lot of humidity. So the dollars was probably very soggy. And they're probably slinging out drinks out there. So the bartenders is touching them dollars, and them dollars is getting soggy. I have no idea if that's the real story. I just made that up, but it makes sense, right? It makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So follow along. So at the Soggy Dollar Bar in around the 1970s, which the Soggy Dollar Bar still exists. So that's going to be something that I do want to put on my travel list because I do want to discover more of the Caribbean, and I want to go to a lot of the bars in other places just to try out some new things. Back to the story. There is possibly three people that could have started the origin of the painkiller. So when you think of painkiller, think of like a pina colada, except it got much more spices, and it's just a nice it's a nice flavorful pina colada. I just love the addition of like cinnamon, nutmeg. Listen, you put cinnamon nutmeg in a cocktail, I am in. I put cinnamon nutmeg on my oatmeal, so throw it in a cocktail and we are all good. But the soggy dollar bar tree, the soggy dollar bar is going to be located in Jost Van Dyke in the British Isles. I'm gonna say UK, in the British Isles, right? From what I was researching, the OG rum that they used was Cruzon rum, which is still around. I personally haven't had Cruzon rum, and around like 1989, I think it's Pusser rum. It says it could be Pusser, which would be gross, but Pusser rum, which I was recommended to actually try it with this recipe. The Pusser rum tried to do a trademark around 1989 to be like, okay, we're trademarking the painkiller, and we're also trademarking the name painkiller. So the cocktail and the name they were trying to trademark. And from there on out, there was a bar in New York City in Lower East Side that was going to be called Painkiller, nice little tiki spot, and which doesn't exist anymore. I looked it up; it doesn't exist anymore. I'm learning about all these things right now, and all the things that were all these places that are kind of pivotal, not pivotal, but would be a good find and created all these great cocktails have closed down. But yeah, painkiller that was going to be that opened up in the Lower East Side had to change its name to PKNY, which just makes me think pinky, even though it doesn't work like that. And a lot of the bartenders just came together and was like, we're going to boycott Pusser rum because y'all are crazy for that. And Pusser is like, well, are we really, or did we just have our claim to fame? Anyways, it's weird to have a claim to fame when you honestly didn't. You weren't the original rum in the cocktail, but capitalism, they saw it in and they dove in for it. Today, though, I will be using Hamilton 86, which is a rum from Guyana. This one I got the Demerara River. It's about 43% ABV dark rum. I just wanted to try it because I remember somebody telling me that Hamilton, I should have Hamilton for rum. So I was like, why not? I was gonna grab the Pusser. Oh my god. I was gonna grab that, but then I was like, you know what? I kind of want the Hamilton Demerara. This is the Hamilton, sorry, the Hamilton 86, distilled and aged on the banks of the Demerara River, which we're gonna use Demerara sugar. Now I think it's brown sugar. Anyways, let's get started. I already had the mixture in the freezer. It should be cooled off now, and we're gonna get the camera a little bit closer. We're gonna get a little intimate, and we're gonna get this thing on the road. All right, let's do the damn thing. Let's get started. Last time I messed up, I didn't put the ice first, but we are gonna put the ice first. Now y'all should have seen me. I use this thing to like crack the ice. I was like, that's as much crust ice as I can do. For shaking, I'm using regular size ice. Some of them. So we're gonna start with the ice. So we're gonna do 2 ounces of Hamilton 86. It's gonna be my 2-ounce side of the jigger. You know what I realized? I don't know why I picked up maple syrup. I think it's because in my mind I thought, oh yeah, pumpkin spice, maple. I did not need that. I'm gonna put it right here. I'll use it for something else. I'm gonna put more of the citrus last. So we're gonna do 1/2 ounce of our coconut cream, which I'm getting it from Trader Joe's. That in there. Do an ounce of ounce of pineapple juice. We're gonna do a little bit of OJ, an ounce of OJ. You already know what brand, I'm sure. No pulp, unless you love that. Then we're gonna do an 1.5 ounces of pineapple juice. Ooh. I bet that's a little messy. I need to get one of those little things so I can do like any juices on the side type of vibe. And we have our pumpkin spice syrup, or 3/4 of that, 3/4, excuse me. Now I, in true Caribbean Caribbean passion and fashion, put in 2 cloves. I put 2 cloves in there because I was like, I mean, why not? Why not cloves? We love cloves. Answer that. The clove might have got in there. A clove definitely got in there. Now I'm gonna have like all of this extra pumpkin spice syrup next. I'm gonna have to use it. Either I'm gonna make a tea or I'm gonna just make more of these after. Let's see how it turns out first. And then we're gonna do 1 ounce of lime juice. This is so makeshift. Just remember these days, the humble beginnings. Well, let me put some of the ice. But yeah, building a home bar is actually very expensive. And now that I think about it, it's like, why do I always gotta have these weird ass, expensive ass hobbies? Like, I did not have to do this. I really didn't. Anyways, we're gonna let it have its moment real quick. All right. All right, here's the moment of truth. Moment of truth. I should have dirty dumped, right? Either put more ice or dirty dump. Let's see. Actually, all the ice is kind of gone. All right, that's barely a dirty dump. It smells delicious. I need to put some cinnamon on here. I love cinnamon. I'm also gonna put some nutmeg. So I actually got this nutmeg when I went to Zanzibar about 2 years ago. It was like on a retreat kind of vibe. So I think that I would actually like to go again. Yeah, I've had this nutmeg for a while. It smells hella fresh. Okay. Okay, this is really good. You know, I will say, I would like some more pumpkin spice. I would like a little bit more pumpkin spice, but this is delicious. This is very smooth. That's what you do when you're at home bartender. You don't have to stir it in there. Let's just see how that goes. I like it a little more with this. I think what I would probably do is put like maybe a one and a mm, 1.5 ounce of the pumpkin syrup mix. So yeah, I like that better. Yeah. It's a little sweeter. I think before it was like not as sweet because this has the sugar as well. It has the pumpkin puree, sugar, pumpkin spice. I added some water in there. And yeah, this is delicious. This is delicious. I would recommend. I'll have the original recipe in the link in the bio, but I'll also have what I just added, which I believe is an ounce, 1.5 ounce of the mixture. If you want it a tad bit sweeter, definitely recommend. If you try it, let me know. If you just want to keep it at a regular painkiller, that's okay too. Thank you guys for watching. Next video, we're just going to go back into the basics. We're going to go back to the basics in terms of vodka, what is considered a vodka, what creates a vodka, and how it's not just Tito's, okay? So if that sounds cool to you, make sure you check out the next video. That'll be out very soon. Thank you for watching and following me on this really something adventure.